Hi, my name is Joe Frick, and today we're introducing our petition series. We're going to be talking about each little part of the petition and picking it apart so that you can understand everything that you need to know to fill that thing out, from child custody to alimony to asset division. We're going to be going over everything, which is going to be a very comprehensive series because pretty much everything that you need to know about a divorce, you need to know about that when you're filling out the petition. It's going to be a long series. We're going to learn a lot, but it's going to be very beneficial. This is the first part of the series where we're pretty much just going to be going over what the petition is and what the petition isn't. So let's dive in. Okay, well, the list of things that a petition is going to be a lot shorter than what a petition isn't. That's because all a petition is essentially you telling the court what you want to happen at the end of the day. Now, depending on what issues are involved in your case, that's going to depend on how long and complicated the petition is, because the petition is supposed to include all of your requests. And when I say all, I mean all of them. And if you don't put them in there, you're not going to get what you asked for. It's kind of like the game Simon Says. Now, when your kids are playing this game and if the other people won't do anything until you say Simon Says, now that's essentially the petition. If you don't put it in the petition saying Simon Says to the court, they will not grant any requests in there. Further, if you put stuff in the petition and it's different than what you want at the end, the court might not grant you that, even though you did put some provisions in there about what you wanted. If it's different at the end than what you want at the beginning, you have to tell the court that by amending the petition. So if your needs and your wishes change during the case, you're going to have to update the petition as well. Okay, well, let's go over what a petition is not. First, a petition is not a court order that you have to follow or the other party has to follow. Just because you have put the request that you want to happen and you put that in a petition, you file with court, and you serve the other party, that doesn't mean they have to follow that. You only have to follow something if there's an order from the court or a judgment from the court signed by a judge saying that you have to do a specific thing by a specific time. If it's not in an order or a judgment, you typically don't have to follow it unless it is in the rules. You do have to follow the joint temporary restraining order that most counties in Idaho put place as soon as they put the petition in the court. What the joint temporary restraining order does, essentially the court telling both parties that pretty much everything has to remain the same unless you get written approval from the other party, the other parent, or you have to ask the court what you want to happen. And then the court has to grant that after you go to a hearing and tell the judge what you want and why you want it. The joint temporary restraining order is one of those things that they put place right away. So there's two different types. One's with KISS and one's assets. They both pretty much just say that they have to stay the same throughout the case until you get one of those other two things. But what it pretty much says is you can't go drain a bunch of your bank accounts. You can't go waste a bunch of money spending stuff just because you're going through the divorce. The joint temporary restraining order is supposed to protect both parties from essentially being sabotaged by the other the party or the other parent, because for financial stuff, it pretty much says that everything has to stay the same. You can't drain a bunch of money outside the ordinary course of business. So if you want to go buy a new car, you haven't bought a new car in 20 years, that doesn't count. Like, you can't do that. The temporary order is put in place specifically for that. And you can't go on a trip to the Caribbean when you haven't done that ever in your life because it's outside the ordinary course of business. For children, it's kind of the same thing. Keep everything the same. Don't take them out of the daycare that they're usually at. Don't take them out of school that they're usually at. Don't take them outside state or several hours away without notifying the other parent. Take them out of state. You definitely need the other parent's consent, because almost every joint temporary restraining order that I have seen has that restriction in place. So don't take the kids out of state unless you have written approval from the parent or a court approval to do it. So those are joint temporary restraining orders. Courts take them very seriously. Please follow them. The petition is also not a custody schedule or an order for child support. You don't have to pay child support just because the petition says that you should pay child support. That doesn't mean that the other party is not going to file those for temporary orders and get order from the court saying that you have to pay child support, but the petition is not going to make you do that. So just because they say you want to pay $1 million a month of child support doesn't mean you have to pay anything until you get the word from the court. It's also not a custody schedule. It's not a custody agreement saying who gets the kids and when. It's just a request from a party to the court or with how they want to do stuff. And again, I want to hammer this home just one more time because it does bear repeating. Petition is not an order from the court telling either party or anyone to do anything. It's just a request from a party. You don't have to follow that. You don't have to get bullied by the other party because they say that they put the stuff in the petition, you have to follow it. You don't have to do that. Do not get bullied. Get a lawyer or just ignore the other party while the case is going on if you can. Now, if there's kids involved, you're not communicating with the other parent. But you can limit that to very certain times and a certain way of communicating. Most of the time, courts put in place a parenting time app that says that you guys have to communicate only through this app. And what the app does, it kind of detects bad language and being mean and all that stuff. But it also allows you guys to coordinate with calendar, about the kids, their schedules, who's going to pick them up when, all that stuff. Okay. That was the first part of the series. There's going to be several other videos coming out. I plan to put on at least once a week, so make sure to subscribe to my channel to make sure that you get updates when those new videos come out, to make sure that you know how to fill out this petition. And I'll keep going forward through this all the way through the trial stage. So this is the petition series. The next series will be response to counterclaims. Then after that, we mandatory disclosures and then discovery, and then a bunch of other stuff after that. But we also make a bunch of YouTube shorts that deal with kind of the same stuff. So if you like that kind of stuff, go to the shorts. If you like the longer videos like this, stay on here. Thanks, guys.